Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Let's get ready for school. So, hope you guys had a great Monday. My Monday was pretty good. Not too much going on, even considering the fact that it's midterms week. I think because it's midterms week, we're not doing a lot in a lot of my classes. So, it's not like crazy. Because even though my classes are like pretty easy, other people have like harder classes for midterms and stuff, and so I think that's why our classes are like a little bit more chill. I don't know if that made any sense. What I was basically trying to say was like, I think like some of my classes are pretty chill because of the fact that it's midterms week, and so they let like other people like work on like midterm stuff, or because we're also entering into like a new grading period after midterms. So it's kind of hard to grade something if you know it's not going to be done by midterms, like by the end of the grading time, I guess, because I think grades have to be in like by the end of the week or something. So like, if something's not going to be done by the end of the week, chances are there's no real point in like doing it to be like entered into the grade book. So anyway, things have been pretty chill. They haven't been that bad. Today is my choir concert, so that's exciting. I'm really excited to sing all the songs we're singing, and I think it's gonna be really good. I think we have a lot of like really good songs that we're gonna sing. So that's not till later tonight, so that's good. So we'll have like another little like dress rehearsal thing in choir today, and yeah. I love like midterms days because of the fact that like if you like you're done with class really early because you only do 2 classes a day for midterms, and so by the time midterms is over, it's like you go home at like noon, and so you have to just chill the whole rest of the day. You could go out and do things with your friends, or you could be like me and take a nap. So I just really I like that, even though like I don't like midterms or finals because it's stressful. But again, 1 term of peace, and I'll take it. I'll take the 1 term of peace because I know that next term is not gonna be as peaceful. Maybe there'll still be a little bit of peace, but it won't be as peaceful. So I'll take it where I can get it. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed my past little like podcast like ranting and stuff, because I feel like, I don't know, those podcasts were interesting. They're fun to like listen to. The ones that are also really good are the ones that are still considered, I guess, after Quiet on Set, but they're not like in like March or whatever. They're like the ones from like that are a little bit more hopeful, but still kind of sad. Like the why am I blanking on what it's called? The Sauce on the Side. I also have not finished that one, so y'all don't come for me for not finishing these podcasts. Like, I often have this idea when I like watch like or like listen to like podcasts and stuff that like I'm gonna finish the interview that I'm on like right now, and then I just never do because I get distracted by something else. And then like that becomes an issue because then it's like I was supposed to have finished that like a long time ago, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, when I was going like, and I just never do. So then the interview that I want to see, and I'm like, oh, I'll watch it after I finish the other one. I never watch it because I never finished the other one. So anyway, I will get back to a lot of these, and maybe I'll recap and change my opinion about a lot of them. I don't know, but like Sauce on the Side, and there was 2 that I watched in the moment. It was like, I think it was either on his birthday or right before his birthday. There were like 2 interviews he did, with like these like radio shows or whatever, and they were so good. Like, highly recommend. That's how good they were. They were so good. Like, there was one with this guy named John, and it was so good. I will tell you about it. So they started talking about Father's Day, because I think either Father's Day was coming up, or, what? I don't really remember, like, if Father's Day, I think Father's Day was coming up, and I think, like, everyone knows, I think, by now that, like, Drake has a son, like, that Drake Bell has a son, so, like, when they're talking, like, they'll, like, mention, like, Father's Day or whatever, and so, somehow they got into the topic of Father's Day and, like, what they were gonna do and everything, and, like, I think Drake was, like, talking about, like, how much he, like, loves his son and stuff like that, and the interviewer was talking about how, like, he was having this he had this conversation with his mom, because his dad died really young, this interviewer's dad, when, like, he was really young. I think maybe, like, a baby, or just really young enough to not fully remember the dad. But, like, enough to, like, remember a little bit, but not to remember, like, the moments. And so, like, she was always, I guess the mom was always telling him, like, oh, your dad, you like, your father loved you very much, and even though, like, like, all this stuff, like, even though he wasn't around very long, like, he loved you every minute that he was. And the guy was kind of, like, in, like, disbelief or whatever, and he was like, I don't really believe, like, I don't really know if that's, like, it's hard to say that, because, like, he didn't really get to know me. Like, he doesn't, like, know me now. And it's, like, stuff like that. I don't know, I can't really remember it fully. But it was like, he doesn't really know me, like, he didn't really get to know me, so it's like, how could he have, like, loved what he knew, like, would he still, like, love me right now, or something like that, I don't really know. And Drake Bell just had this, like, beautiful, like, philosophical, like, moment that just, like, spoke life into this guy, and you could see it, and, like, it was a moment, y'all, like, it was so sweet. I'm so glad they got that on camera, like, well, it sounds weird, but I mean, like, in an interview, like, got it on camera, you know what I mean? Like, it was such a beautiful moment that I think that guy really needed, and it just showed, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment to see. So that one was really good. I highly recommend that one. And they were talking about, like, a lot of just fun topics, but the one that gets me is, there's another one with this woman named Kayla Thomas. And it's kind of funny because this interview was, like, right after, it was, like, filmed right after his, concerts, like, the first concerts he did in the States after Quiet on Set, which were in summer. And I think he got sick, like, right before, or, actually, I don't know. Like, he got sick, but I don't really know when. The only reason I know is because, like, there was, like, a concert that he did, and people had posted, like, concert clips and stuff, and they were like, he had no voice. Like, he really had no voice. So, it was bad. But then if you watch this interview, it's bad because he really doesn't have a voice in this interview either. So, I don't really know when this interview was. Because the funny thing is, and I think I talked about this, I don't know if I talked about this in my Short Girl concert video that I made. So, he lost his voice when he had done these concerts in the States. And then, like, where was I going with this? Okay, so he had done these concerts, and he did the first concert or whatever, and he was fine. He did the second concert. The second concert is when he was losing his voice. So I don't know if he was already sick going into these concerts, or if he got sick, or if he just, like, lost his voice. Because he really badly lost his voice, but then, like, when our concert happened, which was the third concert, he was fine. Like, there was, like, a certain note he couldn't hit, because I guess his voice wasn't 100% there yet. It wasn't, and, like, that's understandable. Like, voices do weird things all the time, and there's certain notes that we'll be able to hit on a good day, and then if we're recovering from being sick, like, our voices will just not do that, and, like, that's fine. But it was funny to be like, what happened? Like, not what happened in a bad way, but being like, what did he do to get better so dang quickly? Because, like, his voice was bad. Because if you hear concert clips from the second concert, I think he literally stopped the concert and just turned it into, like, something a little bit more, like, I think I'm changing the lighting by touching my phone. I'm sorry if the lighting changes a bunch of times. It's because I'm trying to keep you guys from falling. And I think every time I touch my phone, I think I'm, like, changing the lighting or something. So, yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, good God, that's hard to take off. Okay, so, like, it was, like, I don't know, so I was like, how did he get better so fast? Because, like, he really did. Like, he sounded bad that one day. And then just, like, magically when he came to our concert, he sounded, like, good. So it makes me wonder, I'm like, how did you do that? Like, how did you get better so fast? But anyway, I don't exactly know where I was going with that. Oh, because, okay, so the Kayla Thomas interview, which was another, like, I think it was, like, a Kiss 105 or whatever that one is called. Like, interview. So, anyway, that one's pretty good, too. They talk about Hollywood and a bunch of other stuff, too. But yeah, I highly recommend these interviews. The ones after Quiet on Set are informative, but not all of them are, like, the greatest, as I talked about earlier. So, but I highly recommend a lot of the interviews that came after Quiet on Set, but not directly after, because they're a lot more informative. There is one that I don't recommend watching, and it's, like, it was one that he did for, like, one of the places that was gonna, like, the news of, like, one of the places that he was gonna do a concert in. This guy, I don't know if it was his first day on the job or what, but he does not know how to interview people. Like, I'm not over-exaggerating. This guy legit did not know how to interview people at all. And the reason I say that is because it's like, you watch the interview, and it's fine at first, but he does not know the basic skills of interviewing. He does a weird sandwich thing with the questions, where it's like, you put one, or no, he doesn't even do it. I don't even think it's a sandwich. I think he just, like, it's just back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It's like, okay, we keep going back and forth between questions that are, like, more upbeat and questions that are, like, more, like, down. I don't really know. Not down, but, like, it would go from, like, talking about music to talking about, like, abuse. And then back to music. And then back to abuse. And then back to music. And then back to abuse. It's like, what is happening? Like, I'm getting, like, whiplash over here. Like, if I'm getting whiplash, I can only imagine, like, the whiplash Drake Bell's getting. Like, what the heck? It wasn't a very good interview. And, like, I don't want to blame it on, like, bias. I want to blame it on the fact that, like, the guy just didn't know what he was doing. Because it read like that. But the thing is, like, I don't know if it was just the guy who was reading off of a script. Because if the guy's reading off a script, then you can't actually blame the guy. The only way you could possibly blame the guy, too, I guess, is, like, to say, like, well, you could just go off script. But then again, like, that's so easy to say, but then harder to do. So I don't want to, like, fully blame him, I guess. Because I'm like, well, maybe it's just a script and, like, he has to read off of it. And it's like, well, then you have to blame the people who wrote the script instead of the guy that's just reading the script. Because it's like shooting the messenger. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really shoot the messenger. Same with this guy. It's like, if he's not the one who wrote the words, he's just saying them, you can't really fully blame him. So, yeah. You know, you can't fully blame him. But if he, like... Because I don't know if that's how that works. I think the news, like, whoever writes it, writes the news. And then you just get, like, some person to, like, do the actual, like, interview. So I guess we can't fully blame the interviewer. Especially if those aren't his words. Because it was just an unprofessional interview. Because of the way it was structured, it was very unprofessional. And something else that they included in there was also very unprofessional. But again, like, you have to blame the person that's actually to blame. So if that's just being written by someone else, then you blame the person that's being written by, not the interviewer. So, I don't know. But I think the guy just didn't know what to do. Because also, like, the interview was not structured properly. Because, you know, you typically try to get all of the questions out, like, in a way that flows. You don't go from, like, something, like, if you're gonna talk about all the darker topics, do it, like, first or whatever, like, you know, do them all together, and then move on and be like, oh yeah, well now let's move on to, like, a lighter topic and talk about, the, like, other things. Don't go back and forth, because that's just weird, and it also gives people whiplash. Like, it gives people, like, emotional whiplash. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I was like, what the heck is going on? And I didn't realize it was that bad. And keep in mind, like, this interview is not short. It's like a 19-minute interview. So, you're getting emotional whiplash for, like, 19 minutes. It'd be different if it was, like, 10 minutes. Or, like, 6. This is a 19-minute long interview. Like, granted, it's not like Today's Show with, like, a 40-minute interview. Thank the Lord. Like, that'd be, like, worse. But, you know what I mean? Like, still, it's a 19-minute long interview that's not structured well. It's gonna feel like it's 19 minutes long. You don't want an interview to feel, like, as long as it does. You want it to feel, like, you want it to flow. You want it to go and feel, like, fun. Or whatever. Like, you don't want it to feel like it's 19 minutes. I mean, obviously, you can turn it off at any point. But I get curious, so, like, I watch the whole thing. But even if, like, I'm watching the whole thing, I'm like, why did I watch this whole thing? Because it was just, I don't know, it was just structured horribly. But that's just me. I don't know. You guys could watch it and then give your own opinion. But other people were like, what on earth is this? Because they asked a really weird question, too. And I don't know what it is with interviewers and asking weird questions, but it's like, the thing is like, you know, a lot of times interviews piggyback off of, like, other questions that are asked, but, like, if not, someone's just asking this question, and it's like, who thinks that that's an okay thing to ask people? And when someone thinks that that's an okay thing to ask people, you start questioning things, and you're like, why? Because someone literally, like, not someone, the person literally asked, like, to just, like, asked him to describe the abuse he endured. What the heck? And I think we literally had just been talking about music, like, 5 seconds ago. Emotional whiplash. I'm not kidding. Anyway, it was the weirdest interview, guys. So, I don't know. What I was gonna say is happy 18 days till nonstop flight. We're getting there, guys. Slowly but surely. We are getting there. And I'm so excited for it. Okay. Setting spray time. I'm dousing myself in setting spray because I need this makeup to last. Because I'm not redoing it before the concert. Okay. Second setting spray. Okay, y'all already know. Lashes, and I'll be back. Okay, here's the final look. I will see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Have a great day. Jesus loves you. I love you. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.